Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Leo January 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant. Now, we have a very interesting deck this month. My daughter found it in a flea market, wrapped in string, but with no box, no papers, and nothing which identifies what it is. So, you may be familiar with it. And if you are, then let us know what it is in the comments below. Great to see the subscribers again. Thank you for inviting me into your home each month. I really enjoy your company, truly I do. Now, of course, I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for people over the course of the last month from different countries around the world, over FaceTime and Skype. And I've also done a number of healings as well. Now, healing is a spiritual duty. It was provided to me, the gift on birth, and I'm to receive nothing in return for it. So healings are absolutely free without any strings attached. Nothing will be sold or recommended to you. Healings, of course, I charge for. Now, details with respect to both healings and clairvoyant readings are, as you would expect, in the description below. Now, there are no advertisements breaking their way into this content, I have to say, so you get to enjoy the experience directly, and we only need to take 5 cards. 5 is all we need to let them give us the picture of what is going on, because they don't just say something for a second, but they go into quite some detail, as those of you who have been following me will know. Now, let's get it underway and show me the magic. 5 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Hanged One. The Hanged One. Very good. See what this is. The 6 of Cups. Finally, what is this one here? It is the 3 of Pentacles. Now, I'll bring the camera around. Why don't you and I then have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while they speak to you and I'll do the reading for you. Now, there's quite a lot of interesting esoteric imagery in most of these cards here, and I'll point out a few things, but of course you are absolutely entitled to take from the image what you want. I want to deal with this 5 of Pentacles first. The number 5 for me has an association with instability. Instability. Now, what is going on in this painting here? Well, there is a very exhausted traveler that's looking for a place to rest from this stormy night that's going on here. Now, the wolf going beside him, I think, is a spirit guide, guiding the traveler through the process of transformation. And the mountains on either side, they represent the heights you can achieve in this material world. Now, the path to the top, of course, takes determination, faith, and commitment. And this pentacle, interestingly, but this pentagram sort of star, meaning 5 points to it, symbolizes the inner guiding light shining on your path to a higher development of self-love. And it symbolizes the embodiment of the physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual connected to being itself. Now, the astrology associated with this card is quite difficult, I think, where it's placed there. It is Mercury, ruling the first decan of Taurus. Well, Mercury, of course, is the very speedy, fluid, flighty planet that deals with your ability to think, to express yourself, to talk and put ideas into action. And the speed and fluidity of Mercury is weighed down by the slow, heavy, fixed sign of Earth being Taurus. So there could be something of a pessimism around you, a worry around you. You might think that relationships are threatening to break apart. You might think that everything dissolves at your touch, and that you seem condemned to observe while everything around you falls apart. Well, this isn't going on. You might think that your energy is blocked. These are the thoughts that I think are probably going through you. My energy is blocked. My thoughts keep revolving around finding a solution, a way out, a breakthrough. The situation touches the depths of my subconscious. It goes right through me. It's a black hole. There's no way out. I have a feeling of hopelessness. And yet, your inner self, your soul self, is saying to you, do something. The problem in this type of situation, if you find yourself in it, is that if you just remain static, while at the same time tormenting yourself with your entangled thoughts and worries, then you just drive yourself crazy, don't you? Well, I think that there's some sort of a worry or an issue which has been going on with you for some time, and you haven't properly dealt with it. You might be thinking, am I getting myself into a situation that I might not be able to get out of? Will events overwhelm me? These are worries. And worries about the past, which is dead and buried in the cemetery. There's no need for you to go and visit it and give it flowers. Or worries about the future, which doesn't exist either. Neither can you can't do anything about either the past or the future. And you have to ask yourself this. If you knew for certain that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon next Tuesday you were definitely going to die, would you be worried about these things? I reckon that you wouldn't be. Now, I think you might want to think about whether there is something which is posing a threat to your overall security, which is the Taurus aspect. This could be an unexpected expense, worries about a job, maybe even a disruption in your family life. Well, when it comes to worry, you need to recognize that, first of all, worrying does nothing. And secondly, it just keeps you stagnant, and it just makes things work. I have found that if I am worried about something and don't know what to do, I give it to God. I give it to God and say, help me, tell me what I should do. And sure enough, within a couple of days, the answer, in the most unexpected place, time, and way, always comes. Now, you are ready, I think now, to look at your situation as it is. You now have the opportunity to free yourself by taking and having the necessary discussions, either with partners or with yourself. Now, only clear and open communication, that's the Mercury aspect, will bring about progress. Now, in what areas are you not clear and decisive enough? And with which people do you need to sort things out with? And say this to yourself. I am ready to look at my life as it is and to trust in the process of resolving my fears. I am straightening out my life. But I have no concerns that you are going to sort that issue out that's in your mind, because you have. The cavalry has arrived and is with you, and it's in two places. Well, it's in a number of places. There's a lot of sexual activity here, a lot of strength, fixing things up. And here is a great degree of intuition which you can draw upon to sort out what's going on in your mind. Now, the waxing moon above this dark pillar here, that represents the time for planting seeds, setting intentions, getting ideas formulated. The full moon above this high priestess represents enlightenment, illumination, harvest of the fullness of life. It represents the opened flower that you are. And this waning moon here That represents death, death of problems, moving into rebirth, bringing with it the lessons that you've gone through and awakening, but more particularly, healing from the process of passing through what I'll call the cycles of the moon, but you can see them as passing through your transformation of things going through in your mind. Now these two pillars, I think, they represent the duality of physical and spiritual, masculine and feminine, negative and positive. The black pillar symbolizes understanding and the light pillar symbolizes wisdom. Now this spider's web that seems to be going on there, what does that mean? I think that represents the veil between the conscious and the subconscious. It symbolizes your creativity and all the possibilities that lie before you in life, but also it is there to make you aware that you can get trapped in the veil if you pass through it without proper knowledge and preparation. And she holds a star in her hands down here, symbolizing her ability to tap into the collective consciousness. Now, her dress, interesting, it looks like there's a pool of water down here. Her dress is made up of a series of crosses, and this blue pond reflects that back into her. Now, this blue color and the stars represent the deep knowledge and creativity that is constant in the universe. And for me, actually, I have associated with this the planet of Neptune, which, no, I'm getting Neptune energy somewhere else. I don't know what it is. Anyway, the moon is very prominent. There's some Neptune energy floating around here. Now, you are going to be able to access your intuitive powers. This is a time of healing. And you'll also find independence. Importantly, you will have increased self-confidence, and you are going to discover your own truth, and there's an emotional stability with you. I think that what this can do is it can represent a platonic friendship about to occur. That is, with a friend, not in a romantic sense, but also a period of alone time when you need to work out really what you want to do and let your mind process things. But of course you realize that changes on the inside are necessary to make changes on the outside. And there's a need here, I think, to be more confident with your intuitive and feminine side. And for the men listening to this, don't be concerned. Both genders have both male and female principles within them. They just express themselves through the different anatomy and psychology. I think it's also a time when you want to kind of go with the flow in life and keep things in balance. Very strong creative cycle starting, increased self-esteem, and you'll see intuition as a gift. It's really a time for you to discover that oasis within. Because you now have access to your intuitive powers, develop them more fully, guard your independence. Are there areas in your life in which you allow others to influence you rather than trusting your own intuition? And see if you can seek out water as often as you can. Just watch it, be still, and learn from it. And say this to yourself: I deeply honor and value the human being that I am. I am intuitive and perceptive. I trust myself and honor my sense of integrity, and I trust my intuitive abilities. Now, there was another major arcana floating around here somewhere, I think, and it is, here it is, there. All right, the Hanged One. Hello, Hanged One. What's going on here? Anything interesting to point out to my dear friend here? Well, this person is suspended upside down by a cosmic spiral. Do you see that? The spiral of the divine. And the cap that the person is wearing weaves this energy through the subconscious into the conscious. Now, in the traditional image of this, you'd probably be familiar that the hanged man has the hands tied behind his back, representing total surrender. But in this image, interestingly, the hands are in the front, in conscious prayer and meditation, so expressing a dedication to their path that is felt deeply within their heart and soul. Now, the lotus at the top of the card, that seems to be sticking out there. I think that represents the opening of the crown chakra, really. And yeah, probably all I need to say about that from the point of view of the imagery that's there. I won't go into this Hebrew letter that's there. This is where Neptune is coming in. Neptune here representing dreams, intuition, spirituality, and the unconscious. Now, I'm sure that what this is doing is it's signaling for you the end of a situation or a relationship which has become stuck. You're letting go, giving up, surrendering, learning to see in a new way. And you know that there is a necessity for you, and what a great time of year for it, of breaking through old behavior patterns. There's a real metamorphosis going on here with you. Really, there is. Now, I do think that there is the opportunity for you to set right a situation if it has turned sour, because you now have the opportunity to put things right, which is almost like bringing light down into darkness, isn't it? Or you could be bringing light onto something. And that bringing light onto something actually mixes in here with this, because with these two together, I'm getting the feeling that there may be some secret that you find out. There may be something that was withheld from you, but you now find it out. I think certainly that this is a time when, and you should and you will lose emotional ties to guilt from past events. They are in the cemetery. So there's a freedom now from guilt or blaming yourself, is what I see here. You could have the repair of a situation that is related to an emotional event or any other sort of wrongs that you've done, and who hasn't done things wrong from time to time. But I think it is now possible for you to recognize where you have become stuck and which areas of your life are congealed, stagnant rather than flowing. But there isn't anything to do. The mere act of seeing and understanding your reality clearly makes this transformation possible. So, in what areas of your life are you stuck? Are you ready to recognize and let go your stagnant thought and behavior patterns? Say this to yourself: I enjoy breaking ineffective old patterns. I trust and have deep faith in the essence of who I am. I surrender to the higher path and to God's will. I let go and realize, follow and accept the will of the divine in my life, which reveals itself to me step by step. Then we'll go and have a look at whom. Let's see. Maybe this one. This looks like a nice looking card. Okay. I think I've got the gist of that. Let's see. As I say, you may have something else. Well, this is the goddess of creation, I think, wearing the crown of the moon's cycles. One cycle, full moon, and the other cycle there. Now, the sun, which is divine energy in the center, is overlapped by this full moon. An illumination, you see, bringing inspired vision to you through your heart and imagination. Now, there are 3 turtles, one on each of these things here. They symbolize Mother Earth, the triple goddess, and body, mind, and spirit. Now, interestingly, there is looks like a turtle's back, the shell of a turtle, that's on the goddess here, and it displays spirals of eternity and creation on it, don't you think? And look at her focus. Where's she looking down? She's looking at these 3 eggs that are in this nest, and she's working with the energies of divine creativity, aligning up her mind, body, and spirit, symbolized by this magical string trail of stars that's going around there, swirling around her and the nest. And the star energy here also has activated her 3rd eye, giving her deep insight and vision. Now, these 3 golden eggs symbolize your wishes, dreams, and ideas being nurtured and blessed. The rainbow colors that we see there represents the bridge between heaven and earth and the unity of humanity. Now, astrologically, I have what would it be down here? There's Neptune, there's the moon, there's Taurus up there. This would be Mars in the 2nd decan of Capricorn, the 3rd to the 12th of January. Mars is about energy, assertion, vitality. And Capricorn, as you well know, is about ambition, practicality, and making things tangible. The good thing about that placement of Mars in Capricorn is that Mars happens to be exalted in Capricorn, and it is treated as an honored guest in the sign of Capricorn by its host, being Saturn. And so Mars, it dials down the aggravation. It can actually provide pure, useful, powerful, focused energy to make things happen for you. So this is speaking to me of a great time to make sure that you have self-confidence, because this is bringing about self-confidence. This is talking about the use of your energies, the full use of your energy in any situation that you feel yourself obliged to deal with, and you are willing to take on even difficult tasks. And this sense of duty, if you like, comes from within. And your whole being is needed. Full engagement of all of your energy is necessary now. Now, these 3 things here symbolize body, mind, and spirit. None of these can be left out. Only through their combined and balanced use will you see visible results. Now, this may speak to me, and it is, of perhaps a change in job responsibilities or place of work. Certainly you'll have satisfaction with what it is that you're doing, and you'll be doing a good job, and there's continued progression. There's productivity here. And I think that there is a real... These things, there's 3 pentacles there. They're like the 3 gunas, aren't they? The Hindu audience will appreciate that. And they symbolize balance and harmony. I think what you have here is that you'll have an unshakable confidence
in the work that you begin and undertake. And this will give you the power to overcome any temporary doubts which show up from time to time. And this will ensure your steady progress. I think you're also getting acknowledgement for your hard work and dedication. This is a time when your skills and knowledge are going to carry you forward. It's good outcomes for career, business projects, and practical matters in general. Life in balance is feeling good, and you are reaping the rewards of that balanced life. You see, you deal with that thing there. Now, some situation, I think, is demanding your readiness to work steadily. So engage yourself totally, because it's going to be worth it. And in what areas do you still hold yourself back, and in what areas could you be giving more of your energies? Find out and remain aware of what you want to set your full energies towards achieving. You must have a plan. Say it in one sentence. That's the goal. And then work small step by step backwards. You need to have a precise goal to work towards. And say this to yourself: I am now ready to give everything and to receive everything. And finally, we come to this, the Six of Cups. Here is your friend, the Sun. Again here, your planet is blessing you everywhere this month, is it not? And here we have children, a couple of children. Well, there's not much to this. This is about purity. We've discussed the rainbow before, rainbow horse and two children riding with joy over it. But there is a far more adult aspect to this than there is with the children, and I want to talk about it. And it's where it's placed, and so it's clear to me what is going on. Now, it's the Sun ruling the second decan of Scorpio. Now, in the number 6 there, I have a mystical association with the Sun as well. So there's a double Sun. And here, the double Sun reveals what Scorpio wants to hide. And so I see here lust, enjoyment, pleasure in sexual relationships. Now, if you don't happen to be partnered, you can still enjoy sexuality by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's also the opportunity here for a rich exchange of sexual and heart energy, and in particular for everybody, emotional renewal. There's pleasure, indulgence, sexual pleasure, excitement, family support. But the pleasure here is a pleasure which is completely harmonized. Now, Scorpio is the zodiac sign. Well, pleasure is planted in Scorpio, in its most fertile soil there, isn't it? This is really one of the best energies in the pack. Now, it could also be a pleasure that's been achieved now after much hardship in the past, and there's a focus on relationship, or the desire to have a relationship. Now, enjoy now all which life gives you. This is the best way to express your gratitude. Are you holding on to old beliefs which prevent your enjoyment of pleasure? Enjoy your own emotional wealth, and if you want to, share it with a partner. And say this to yourself: I am now open to a partner with whom I can share the joys of love on all levels. Well, what a fantastic spread of cards for you. And didn't you do well? Good job. Gee, I said that was an interesting deck, didn't I? And what a fantastic set of imagery it was. What a good month it's going to be for you, I think, and don't you deserve it? Truly you do. Fantastic. Well, unless I see you privately beforehand, then I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.